Hey everyone! Well, today I'm gonna bring you along and I'm gonna make a sausage, potato, red pepper, and onion dish that is just so good. It's so hearty, it's rustic, you're gonna love it. I'm also celebrating because I reached 2,500 subscribers this week and it's like, I'm amazed. I can't believe this happened. So thank y'all, all of you, for that. That was just such a blessing. And then I had another blessing today, and one of our neighbors out here in the country, his wife just passed away, and he asked me if I would like to make copies of her recipes and also her mother's recipes. And this is really old. This is a Pillsbury flour tin recipe box, and it's full of recipes, mostly handwritten. And I'm just so blessed to be able to see these and make copies of them. And then he's going to bring me hers to do the same. And so it's just, it is so wonderful to be able to bring those things back to life and not let them just pass away. So thank you, Greg. This is truly a blessing to me. So now we're going to make this recipe. All right, here we go. So I have a pound of mild Italian sausage cut up in chunks. There's no rules, cut it in chunks. These, I don't know, maybe a little over an inch to inch and a half. I just cut them. Okay, so these are supposed to be Yukon or some kind of gold potatoes. Some are really golden, some are more white, so I don't know, and it really doesn't matter. But I've cut them in, I don't know, 1/4 to 1/3 inch slices. Just careful as you can, but I don't worry too much. And then I took sweet onion and cut it in wedges. And again, I don't buy a lot of red or green bell peppers, so I have my Thrive red bell peppers, and I gotta tell you, you can't tell the difference when you use these in a recipe. I love them. So if you're interested in Thrive Life, go check it out. I'm just going to add a tiny bit of water to this, and these will rehydrate just like fresh. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to add some olive oil, and I'm using my wok, but you can use frying pan, whatever you want. And I'm just going to start to brown these. So let me take you over. Alright, so now I'm going to let my wok heat up just a minute. Again, frying pan, whatever. This just happened to be what I used last time, and it was so easy. So I'm just going to put, I don't know, maybe 2 to 3 tablespoons of olive oil. You can use a different oil. I like olive oil. Now I'm going to add the sausage. And all I'm looking for is to brown it at this point. Even slightly frozen, mostly thawed, but it doesn't matter because we're just gonna get the brown on it. So let me get this browned, and then I will bring you back to show you what I do next. Alright, this took a couple minutes, 2 or 3 minutes, not long. You just want the outside nice little brown on it. Now I'm going to put that into a baking dish. And you probably can't see that, but I'm just going to move those. I'm going to keep the oil in the pan. Because we're going to use that oil for the next thing. I'm going to add just a tiny bit more because I'm adding all of those potatoes. So I'm going to start putting those in. And again, use whatever's appropriate for your family. This kind of recipe, that's a little bit need to cut off. This kind of recipe is rustic. It's use what you need. And we're just going to let these do the same thing and just get a little bit brown. And I'm actually going to cover them so that they steam a little also, because we want them browned, but we also want them close to being done. So I'm going to cover it up. I'll bring you back when these are almost ready. Alright, so these potatoes have been cooking. It's probably been about 10 minutes, and that's mostly because I made a lot. Because they love this so much that I wanted to make plenty. And you just want to get them some brown on, and some of these are brown, some aren't. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to add these now to the sausage. So I'm just going to pour all that in there. And I'm going to put just a tiny bit of olive oil into this. Now we're going to add the sweet onions that I cut in wedges. And again, I'm not real particular, however they got cut. And then I'm going to put my dried live rehydrated, there you go, Parmesan style red pepper. And this goes really fast because you just want to lightly saute them. Just soften them, that's all. And my family loved this recipe. In fact, they ate it and then said, when are we having this again? To me, that's a success. So now I'm just going to let these slightly get softened. I'm going to add them to the baking dish, and then I will show you what I do next. Alright, this looks good to me. Just barely softened. It doesn't have to be finished, because now we're going to get this ready to go into the oven, and it will be finished off there. And that is what makes this recipe so wonderful. You can scale it up or down if you've got a large family or if you have one or two. This recipe you can scale to any amount. And I love that because I grew up making a huge amount, even though we didn't have a big family. But that was how I learned to cook, and when I had to learn to cook for two, that was hard. And now I'm cooking for three, but you know what? We love leftovers, so I usually make more. Alright, here we go. So I have put all of that in a baking dish, and I'm just going to lightly toss it together. It doesn't have to be perfect. It really doesn't matter. And that's, again, a wonderful thing. Don't stress over it, just do it. When you can make a dinner like this with just a short amount of prep time and cook time, and then just allow it to finish in the oven, you can make a wonderful meal for your family. And I first tasted something like this at one of the big chain franchised Italian restaurants. Let's put it that way. And I loved it. And then they discontinued it. So really, I can't get this anymore. Then again, I don't go out to eat much, so it was probably quite a while. But the flavors were wonderful. So now what I'm going to do is add, I don't know, maybe a tablespoon of dehydrated minced garlic. And probably 2 teaspoons to a tablespoon of Italian seasoning. I don't measure. You don't have to. Just eyeball it. My dad always said that he was a tool and die maker, and he could eyeball to tiny, tiny, tiny fractions of an inch. But he was accurate. So the first time I made this, I used half a cup of chicken stock, and I used half a cup of white wine. And then I was informed by my family that that was not nearly enough of the yummy juice, so I'm doubling it. So I'm using a cup of white wine and a cup of chicken stock. 2 cups chicken stock. That should make them happy. Now I'm going to add some black pepper and salt, and then this is going in a 400-degree oven, probably about 20 minutes. How easy is that? Alright, salt, pepper, Italian seasoning, garlic, and white wine, and my homemade chicken stock. This is going in the oven. Alright, so here it is. And this stuff is so tasty. This probably took 20 to 25 minutes in the oven. But it is so worth the time. Let's see if I can move this over so you can see what I am going to dish up. We want to get some of everything in this bowl. And we definitely want some of this juice that Shayna wouldn't share with her father because he was so good. So I'm going to add some fresh grated Parmesan cheese to the top. And now we're going to taste. So some of the sausage. And let's get some onions, peppers. This is so good. It just really is that good. And we'll get some of the potato. Everything's perfectly done. It has so much flavor. And this is such an easy meal. So I hope you enjoy it and I hope you like it. And if you do, subscribe and share. And come check out my 2,500 subscriber giveaway. Thank you for watching. And thank you for watching Vickie's Country Home.